topic that everyone loves is equipment.
Yes.
So let's start with camera. What's your favorite camera?
My favorite camera, it's not my favorite, but it's what I have, is the Canon 5D Mark II. And I have that one because when the 5D Mark IV came out, I knew that there were going to be people that were going to be selling their old cameras. And sure enough, somebody sold their 5D Mark II, and I picked it up for, oh my gosh, a fraction of the price. And so that's what I use for video. I don't use it for photography because it does have some focusing issues. That's why it's not my favorite. My favorite lens is the Canon 50mm 1.4. I just love the depth of field when I use that one. And I also have the 85mm, but my favorite, my go-to is the 50mm. Now, if you're just starting, you can get the 50mm 1.8 and it's $100, $99. It's a great first lens to purchase. My favorite is the T3i, and it's lightweight. It's not as great as the 5D Mark II, but it's a great camera to just have in my bag. But my go-to always for video is my Canon.
I recently upgraded to the Sony A7R II. I absolutely love this camera. Because I just recently upgraded, I couldn't afford to buy a bunch of lenses. So I bought the 35mm 1.8, and it's a prime fixed lens, and I love it. I do typically, the reason why I upgraded was because the audio quality on my lower level Nikon was horrible. There was just this constant static sound. So even when I bought a $300 microphone to go on top of that Nikon, still had that sound. So instead, I bought the Sony A7R II and bought a $30 microphone on Amazon, and much better audio quality. In fact, I compared that audio to the $300 Rode mic and could not tell a difference.
That's awesome. There are so many great tools on Amazon. I used to be a photographer, and all of my lights and my soft boxes are lower level in the price point, and they work fantastic. You do not have to spend tons of money to get started. You really don't.
If you were just starting out, because I feel like there's a big difference between people who have established themselves and can maybe afford some bigger software. So if you were just starting out, what's the first things you would go for?
Well, the first things that I would use would be Canva for creating posts. You can create tons of stuff on Canva for free. Unsplash and Pixabay are great places to find quality photos that you can use for free.
I also like Pexels.
Oh yeah, Pexels is a new one. I haven't used them as much, but yeah, they're new to me at least.
Yeah, those are all completely free, no login required.
Facebook Manager, free. Just using the insights on your other Pinterest and Twitter and Instagram are really great, and those are all free. I use Buffer. Each one of my clients has a separate account, and so that's free to schedule out their posts. And
what about, are there any other content creation tools that you use other than Canva if you were just starting out?
I mean, if you have an Adobe account, you can use Adobe Spark. That's what I use, but it's very similar to Canva. I just prefer it a little more than Canva.
There are some video websites that I have used. Biteable is one that I've used.
Find tools like Animatron. I don't have to go to After Effects and create my own stuff and spend hours doing it, because there's already great content already out there. Another website that I use, and they have free items every week, is Creative Market. You just have to have an account. And
Yes.
There's like 6 free things every week. Now, you don't get to pick those 6 free things. It's just whatever's on there. A lot of fonts, maybe like some small graphics and things like that. But I've used those. And so there are assets that are already created out there to help save you time, because you could spend hours creating a small piece of content for a client when somebody's already done it, and you just need to download it and use it.
Scheduling software, Krissy mentioned Facebook Business Manager. Absolutely a must if you are managing more than one page.
Yes.
Also absolutely a must if you are managing ad accounts.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot manage multiple clients off one ad account. Each one has to be separate, because without doing it that way, you can't put a different credit card for each client. Even if you try to separate by campaign, there's no way to put multiple credit cards on one ad account.
I love data. There's great data.
There really is.
In the Facebook Manager for you to look at, and it's free. It's free. You can schedule from it.
Always schedule your Facebook videos through Facebook. There are way more options within Facebook than there is probably with any scheduler. For example, you can create your closed captions in Facebook when you're building your post.
Which is a must.
Absolutely.
Because you don't have to be deaf. I mean, everybody is reading those closed captions now. I think laying in bed.
I never have the sound on.
With your spouse next to you. Or never mind. But you're gonna read the closed captions, so you don't wake them up.
Right.
I was gonna say, or in the Target bathroom.
I don't know if I've been Target bathroom, but there's been a lot of situations that I'm watching video and I don't turn the sound on. So unless you have built the captions into the video prior to posting it, you really need to post it on Facebook.
And I would say don't rely on what Facebook auto-populates for you. You really need to go through.
Absolutely not. You have to edit it.
You have to go through and edit it. It's not perfect by any means.
And also then you can choose your thumbnail that's going to show up when the video is posted.
Yes.
If you're just using a scheduling software, you're not going to get to choose that. Now, even saying that, scheduling software is amazing. And I personally use Agora Pulse. I chose it, again, I've used several. I chose it because it provided me the most reliable reporting. It covered all the reporting elements that I felt like were important. It also allowed me to have kind of this ease of mind that I was not missing any comments. So if you're just managing comments through Facebook, like the Pages app, or through Business Manager, and your client has access to that too, if they archive a message or you archive a message and they don't understand how that works, it can get really tricky. Or if they check it before you can check it, then the notification goes away. And then you don't realize it's there. So using Agora Pulse, I know no matter what my client does, I'm going to see every single comment, and it's going to stay there until I check it off and say, yes, this has been reviewed. I can reply back as the client. I can like it. I can do everything I need to do. The only thing it will not do is you cannot see Instagram direct messages. So that's an Instagram thing. That's not a Agora Pulse thing. All the schedulers, you're going to run into that.
If you're not ready for Agora Pulse.
Right.
I'm not quite there yet. You can still do all of that through Facebook, your Instagram. If it's connected as a business account.
Yes.
If it's a business page, you can see those Instagram
messages
or comments. It's not as easy to respond through Facebook pages. And so I still will go back to the Instagram, but it does notify me that, hey, somebody commented on your post.
So I do the same thing for checking Instagram. I go into Instagram and I check the messages. And I think it's important to go into Instagram to do that, because if somebody shares a story and tags you, you want to be able to share it to your client's story.
Show some love.
And I would say another way to get your name out there and kind of working on that personal branding piece is to get involved in Twitter chats. And that's something, it gets really overwhelming. I haven't done it as much as I probably should, but two tools that you can use for that is TweetDeck and TweetChat. And I don't know that I necessarily have a preference one way or the other, but they will help you stay sane when you are trying to participate in a Twitter chat.
Yes, I got tagged in a Twitter chat not that long ago about pumpkin spice lattes, which are my favorite right here. And I was not at home, so I was not at a desktop, and I'm trying to do it from my phone, and I could not keep up. I was like, wait, what? Why are they talking about me? Like, what is going on? And so that would have been so much better.
Yes.
Because I gave up. I was like, I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Moving on to marketing automation software. Very quickly, what do you use for email campaigns?
I have a client that uses Constant Contact, and I have a client that uses MailChimp. Both are pretty easy to navigate, and you can create some great newsletters from those. Landing
pages too. I would say if you're just starting out, probably MailChimp is the easiest and the cheapest. I really like ActiveCampaign. I'm still kind of transitioning from other things. I've used MailChimp in the past, so I'm transitioning to ActiveCampaign. One thing I like about it is I feel like you can set up a lot of automation rules that can really help you set up like a sales funnel, similar to what you might find on like lead pages or ClickFunnels. I think ActiveCampaign is a cheaper alternative for those two. And then another automation tool that I really love is ManyChat. So that is where you're setting up your chatbot for Facebook. And I could get into probably double this amount of content on chatbots alone, but we will save that for another day. Basically, chatbots can allow you to have that online customer service to answer your frequently asked questions, like your hours, your rates. You can use it to deliver your newsletter. You can use it as another way of delivering your content outside of an email list. An email list does not always deliver. And those open rates are not reliable at all. But with Facebook Messenger, you know that those things are opened. You know who has clicked on what. The one thing I will say is just be careful, because you are still collecting data. You need to acknowledge that it is a bot. You need to tell them how you're going to be using, if they subscribe, how are you using their data. And I think that ManyChat is going to be rolling out to things other than Facebook. But at this point, it is just Facebook. And you do have to keep in mind, is that alienating people? Like, you cannot make your whole strategy around a chatbot. At least not strictly one that is on Facebook.
I agree.
You are going to be asked for your clients to set up tracking software. So that is Google Analytics, that's Facebook Pixel. Again, those are monsters of a subject to cover. So do research into those and see if that's something you think you can handle before you offer that service. And then there's kind of just some general business tools. So I know, like on my side, you know, I'm handling all my accounting and everything. So I use QuickBooks. I currently use the self-employed version of QuickBooks. However, I did that because I didn't think that I was ever going to quite need that next level. And I like that the self-employed version gave you the app where you could track your mileage.
Yes.
What I don't like is that if you ever decide you do need the next level of QuickBooks, there is no import, like there is no transfer to the next level. If you start one level up on QuickBooks, which I think is just the QuickBooks Online basic plan, if you have to grow past that plan, that one does grow, that one does transfer. So I would just say really evaluate the features before you decide which package you want to go with.
Yeah.
And then I also have Microsoft Office, which you don't have to have, but in this day and age, I mean, pretty much everyone's using it. So you can get away, like if you have a Mac, you can get away with the built-in software, but
or even G Suite. G Suite has all its tools. But you're right. Some things don't transfer over, right? Prezi.
Yeah.
Prezi is really great for creating presentations that I really love how they just kind of flow through. It's a little more visually appealing than just a PowerPoint.
Right. However, if you do want to stick to PowerPoint, I actually just recently used Canva to create my slides. And what's nice is Canva does have a presentation mode, so you can go log in online and present right from Canva, or you can download the PDFs. And then what I did is I just dragged each page into a slide in PowerPoint, and it just plops right in.
That's awesome.
And then you can add whatever animation you want to it. But
I need to check that out.
Yeah, they really have some cool designs so that you're giving your presentation just that extra touch. I also use LastPass a lot.
Yes.
So clients are trusting you with all their passwords. I mean, I have access to, I don't even know how many Gmail accounts, Facebook accounts, like it's a lot of trust they are putting in your hands, and you can't play around with that.
No.
So I put everything into LastPass, and I create a category for each client so that each client's passwords are kind of kept in that one little area. If for whatever reason they did decide to not move forward with me, I could easily go in and delete out all those passwords, and it, wouldn't be a big deal. I can also then share those passwords with employees without them being able to actually see the password. So they can log in and do the work, but they can't actually, like if that account goes away, they can't remember it or write it down for later use. So I really like LastPass.
Even for your own personal social media, I would definitely recommend having a two-factor authentication.
Even my own personal use, I use LastPass because how many passwords do each of us have? It is insane.
It really is. And you should probably not use the same password for every account. Like, I know this.
Right.
And I still do it.
So, and somebody told me recently, there's a name for this, and he's gonna watch this and give me a hard time that I don't remember what it's called. But my method for creating passwords is I have my standard password. It is not a word. It is a combination of letters and numbers, and it has a special character in there. And then whatever website or whatever service I'm on, I use a capital letter for whatever that domain is. So if I'm on the Wichita Public Library website, my password starts with a capital W, and then I put my password. So yes, I'm using the same password for every site, but it's really different for every place I'm going to.
That is good advice.
Project management. What software do you use for project management?
Yeah, I use Trello. And so what I really love about Trello is that I can add my clients to the Trello board, and they can see what I'm working on, what is being scheduled out. They can go in and make notes. They can edit things. And
Can you see it in a calendar view?
You can see it in a calendar view. Yes, it's one of the power-ups. I can't remember, you get like 1 power-up free, I think. But for every person that you add, you get 30 or 90 days free power-ups. So
okay. Because I have one client that likes to see the content schedule, but it's not an official, like we don't say here's this week's and then she has to approve it and we move forward. It's more just she has a link to go check on it whenever she wants to go check on it, and if she sees a problem she'll let us know, otherwise we move forward. And I use OneNote, and I just put a grid in a page on OneNote, and I put in, this is the copy, this is the image. The graphic designer can check into that same page and get their instructions. They send me the image and I place it in. And I also use, which we'll get to this, but I also use Agora Pulse for scheduling and that comment management. And I have heard that they are working on that feature, but I have no idea the timeline on it. So I'm hoping, because OneNote is not a perfect solution for that, and that's why I asked about Trello. What I like in OneNote is that I don't have to, if I'm looking at a calendar, I don't have to click on each day in the little box to have it open up to show me the image in the copy.
it does do that in Trello.
I can just see the whole thing.
So Trello, it is one of those where you have to click, just like on your calendar on your phone, you have to click on that little bar or whatever. I can't remember what it is. I don't normally use the calendar view. I just, in my, you can create different lists. And so in my list, I put Monday, and then I put a due date in there, and it will show what day it's going out. So, Wednesday, October 31st. And then I usually put, like Monday, okay, we're going to connect. Tuesday, it's going to be education. Wednesday, it's going to be, education again or whatever. And so I categorize my week out. And then I use labels too. So I label it. Where am I going to put it? So I'm going to put it on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram. And then, I put that due date. And sometimes I even use the checklist option. So I make a checklist, and then once I've scheduled it on each platform, I check it off to make sure that I put it where it needs to go. And I don't even use the calendar, really.
Really?
I just have it in a list rather than kind of like an agenda.
Well, and that I'm sure is just more personal preference. I felt like when a client was looking at it, they were wanting to see kind of a calendar view. But who knows? They may have been just equally as happy with a list.
I will tell you that I use Planoly to plan out Instagram for 2 clients.
I love Planoly.
I do too. And I do like to see on the calendar, next to it, okay, I have something for each day. I just double check that I have something for each day.
And I like to see kind of the pattern of the post too.
Oh, definitely.
In the calendar.
I heard recently that, like you should have like a theme on your Instagram. I heard recently another one of our social media friends here in Wichita, I was having lunch with her, and she said that she had read that that's not as important. But there's something so creative and so satisfying about seeing that checkerboard that I'm creating. Some people do stripes for 3 clients.
Or some people just do a general color.
Yes, a color. Or Jasmine Star is really big on Instagram, and she has like the same editing. So
setting up like presets.
Yeah, like the same presets. So all of her lighting is about the same. The colors are about the same in all of the photos. But it's a mix of photos.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I personally, I've used several project management tools. I have a heavy background in project management, so I have definitely done my due diligence there. I am currently using for my business, I'm using Asana. I'm actually still on the free version of Asana, which I have not found any limitations to, other than there are some tools with, once you start to get employees, there is some tools to see kind of their workload that I would like to have, but you have to start at a minimum of 5 users per month.
Oh, really?
So I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep it on the free version and just use the tools that are in place to manage what I have going on. But it does also have a calendar view, and I could add the client to just that calendar to see it if I wanted to. I know, have you also used Monday.com?
Yeah. For Alice, we use Monday.com, and very similar to Trello, we have boards. One thing that I do like about Monday that Trello doesn't really have is I can add different boxes for different things, and so I have a box for where is it going. At Alice, I managed the blog, and now I'm managing our email marketing, and so I can have it categorized for social media or blog or email marketing. I can add a link in another box, and I can even add like estimated time. So if this is something that you are doing for a client and you add them to your Monday.com account and you want to show them how much time that you might spend on a project, that's a great way to show, I estimate this project is going to take 2 hours or whatever. And let's see, I think you can also add checklists in Monday, which that really helps me see visually that I have everything scheduled where it needs to go.
Another one that I have used, and one of the reasons why I don't like Trello is because I think the functionality within a board, that's what it's called, right? Is great. But I really live off a master list of tasks. And Trello doesn't combine tasks from all the different boards into one list that I can look at and go, okay, today I have to handle these things. And then lets me prioritize them based on my day and not on the project.
So they have updated Trello.
Okay.
And when you log in, there is a master list that comes up on the first page.
Oh, see.
It kind of shows you day by day what you have scheduled.
I'm going to have to go check it out now. Because that's one of the big reasons why I didn't do that. So I've worked with Asana. Another one that I've worked with is Rike, which has actually a time tracker built in. I believe even in the free version, but I might need to double check that. The reason why I ended up not going with Rike for my business was because I was using Rike for one of my clients and I was using it for my business. And originally when I signed up for it, it would combine the tasks from the two organizations into one master task list. And they decided a few months after I signed up that that was not a good way to do it. And now you have to flip between two tabs. And yeah, that does not allow me to prioritize things between the two organizations. So I just decided to move back to Asana, especially since Asana allows you to export things out to Excel, your whole list, or you can copy and paste into Asana from Excel.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really great from data management side.
Yeah.
Another one to check out, but we probably won't go into, is Airtable. I have it. I have used it to kind of plan content calendars before. It's really great collaboration tool where it kind of works like Excel, but on steroids. And so you might go check that one out. It is cloud-based. And we will link to all the tools and the software that we recommend on the website. The link should be below this video, wherever you are watching it. And if there's anything that we mentioned that you don't see on there or you want more information on, just send me a message on the website or on YouTube or wherever you can find me, and I will get back to you with some more information on that.